Hello student, today we will discuss the epicyclic train type of gearbox. So epicyclic train type of gearbox, also called as planetary gearbox. So this planetary gearbox popularly used in semi-automatic or automatic transmission. So it is a fourth category of gearbox which is used in a vehicle or automobile. So student, we already discussed the other manual gearbox, that is sliding mesh gearbox, constant mesh gearbox, then synchro mesh gearbox. So fourth one is the epicyclic train type of gearbox or planetary gearbox. So popularly used in a automatic transmission. So first we will discuss the construction details. Student, this is the driving shaft. So driving shaft, it is connected to engine via clutch. So driving shaft of this gearbox, it is connected to engine shaft via clutch. Now student, in combination with the automatic gearbox or in a combination with the planetary gearbox, hydraulic clutches are used, either fluid flywheel or torque converter. In manual transmission, friction clutches are popularly used. So if in a vehicle that there is automatic transmission, then combination will be like this, that is type of gearbox, planetary gearbox. So combination of clutch, so either torque converter or fluid coupling or fluid flywheel. So this driving shaft of this gearbox, it is connected to output shaft of hydraulic clutch, that is either torque converter or fluid flywheel. So this driving shaft is coupled to sun gear. S for sun gear, as the name is epicyclic train type of gearbox. So a pair of epicyclic gear train are used. So just I am discussing a gearbox having only single stage. So one set I have considered, that is one set of epicyclic gear train. So driving shaft is connected to sun gear. This is sun gear. So sun gear is connected or so sun gear further attached to a planet gear. So here I have shown two planet gear. So this planet gear gear are mounted on planet carrier. So student, this is planet carrier. So this planet carrier is connected to driven shaft. So student, this is the driven shaft. So this driven shaft is connected to the, that is driven shaft of gearbox. It is connected to propeller shaft via universal joint. So see student, this planet gear is further connected to a ring gear. Student, ring gear. R notation I am using for ring gear. So further this ring gear has a connection to band brakes. So band brake has a important function during the engagement of and disengagement of driving and driven shaft, that we will discuss later. So student, just I will revise the constructional details of epicyclic train type of gearbox or planetary gearbox. Student, driving shaft is connected to sun gear. Driven shaft, it is connected to planet gear via planet carrier. This planet gear are connected to ring gear. So again, ring gear are coupled with band brake. So student, what is the advantage of employing planetary gearbox as compared to synchromesh gearbox? See, it has a very compact construction, smooth engagement and disengagement. So life of this gear set is higher. So generally in various advanced cars, this planetary gearbox is employed with combination of hydraulic clutch. Now student, how the power transmission or motion transmission takes place? So driving shaft directly coupled with sun gear. So this sun gear are connected to planet gear. So if this band brake, student, engagement of driving and driven shaft, that is first case I am considering. So when this band brake is levered, with the help of lever, some braking force is employed on band brake. So this band brake is connected to ring gear. When band brake is connected with the help of ring gear, so student, there is a connection of band brake and ring gear. So some leverage force is acting on ring gear via band brake. So in this case, what will happen? You can say that ring gear is not at all moving. In that case, ring gear will be stationary, not moving. So motion or power from sun gear will be transmitted to planet to planet carrier, from planet carrier to, that is a motion from sun gear is transmitted to planet gear to driven shaft, and driven shaft to propeller shaft. Now disengage the position when that is the engine power, or there will not be a motion of driven shaft, though the driving shaft is rotating, that is engine power is not transmitted to driven shaft. So when this will happen, you will say that is the function of clutch, that is to disconnect the engine power from engine to further part. So here this disengagement of planet and ring will be useful to achieve the desired speed reduction. So student, just I am discussing one set of gearbox. So when there is a disengagement of ring gear and planet gear, so ring gear and planet gear, then there will be a direct gear. We are getting direct speed reduction, you can say that. direct speed reduction. So when this band brake is released, what will happen? So though the sun gear is rotating, so second condition, disengagement, in this case ring gear and planet gear, that is from planet gear motion is transmitted to ring gear, as ring gear is not fixed, that is ring gear is not stationary. So because this band brake is in released condition, in that case, so motion from planet gear will be transmitted to ring gear. So in that case, driven shaft has not at all any motion, you can say that the driven shaft has not at all any motion. So student, this is the one set. So generally this epicyclic gear train up to 3 speed reduction, that is 3 set, we can use, generally employed in advanced cars, that is in light duty vehicles, where there is a presence of semi-automatic or fully automatic transmission, generally fully automatic transmission. So if there are three speed reduction gearbox, so 3 epicyclic gear train are used. So to avoid the cost, so this planetary gearbox, this planetary gear set, you can employ it to top gear only, because student, see, so you might have a question, epicyclic gear train more than 3 set. See student, generally in light duty vehicles 3 speed reduction gearbox or 4 speed reduction gearbox, maximum 4 speed reduction gearbox. As per heavy duty vehicles are concerned, that is truck, buses, more than 4 reduction, that is 5, 6, 7, 8, up to 8 stages or 8 speed reduction. Generally this planetary gearbox popularly employed in a light duty vehicles or in advanced car, so that no need to more than 3 stages. So 3 set are sufficient, that is 3 set of epicyclic gear train are sufficient. Now student, just go through the construction and working of planetary gearbox having 2 set, 3 set, okay? Then you will get a clear cut construction details and working of planetary gearbox. So just I have discussed the construction and working having 1 set only. So this analogy you can employ for another set, okay? So student, just simple train I will draw. So to understand the engagement of different gears, this is the sun gear student, this is ring gear, here I will employ 3 planet gear. Planet gear, sun gear, ring gear, So student, driving shaft is connected to sun gear, that is shaft from output shaft of clutch is connected to sun gear. So sun gear, suppose in a rotation, so that rotation or that motion will be transmitted to planet gear. So if ring gear is in fixed state, that is ring gear is stationary, you can say that. So this, on this ring gear, generally band brake will exert some force. So there is the breaking of or some leverage force to fix the ring gear via band brake. So what will happen? Directly power, motion and power from planet gear will be transmitted to output shaft or driven shaft. Now, when band brake exerts some actuating force on ring gear, so second case I am considering. So when band brake exerts some actuating force on ring gear, then there will not be motion transmitted from planet to ring gear. Now next condition, suppose this ring gear is in a released condition. So this ring gear is in released condition when band brake will not exert any force. So there will not be any actuating force acting on ring gear by band brake. Then this ring gear is in motion. So that is, motion from sun is transmitted to planet. From planet it is given to ring. From planet it is given to ring. So driven shaft. So driven shaft generally connected to a planet gear. So driven shaft connected to planet gear will not have any motion. So this setup is band brake have a function to engage and disengage the ring and planet gear. So suppose there are 3 sets, then in one set only there will be actuating force exerted by band brake on ring gear. So two setup are ideal, you can say that. Suppose first setup is running, then second and third are ideal. Suppose second is running, then first and third are ideal. If third is running, then first and second are ideal. Suppose third setup, 3-speed reduction gearbox, suppose we are discussing. So third setup provides top gear for higher speed reduction. Intermediate epicyclic gear 10 let provide second gear. First gear will be provided by next setup. So 3-speed reduction we are getting. So desired speed reduction will be achieved with the activation of band brake. So Student, this epicyclic gear train compact, so smooth motion and power transmission. So along with this, the one of the important function I am discussing at last, that is no need to press clutch pedal. So there will be automatic clutching and declutching takes place because we are using hydraulic clutch. So as per speed, there will be clutching and declutching, because as per speed variation, particular speed reduction will be achieved. So along with automatic clutching and declutching, again one more extra advantage to a driver, no need to change gear lever. So again automatic achievement of specific speed reduction, or in normal word you can say that no need to press the clutch pedal, no need to change the gear lever, that is automatic speed reduction is attained. So there will be automatic clutching and declutching. Okay, so driver's fatigue will be minimized, that is almost less. Okay, only steering control, that is only steering control should be take care by a driver. So student, sun gear and planet gear are having external gear tooth. Okay, so and this ring gear is the internal gear. So various types of gear, I think you already familiar. So this ring gear and planet gear has internal meshing, you can say that ring gear and planet gear has a internal meshing, sun gear and planet gear external meshing. So this ring gear also called as annular wheel. So student, just go through the epicyclic gear train in detail. Thank you. Students, next component in a transmission system will be overdrive. So it will not be an essential component in every vehicle. So in certain vehicles only overdrive is used. So what is the function of overdrive? Student, overdrive is connected in between gearbox and propeller shaft. So student, first we will discuss the constructional details of overdrive, then its function I will discuss. So this is gearbox shaft. So shaft from gearbox, that is main shaft of gearbox. So that is output shaft of gearbox, it is connected to sun gear. Again student, overdrive is a one type of epicyclic gear train, special purpose epicyclic gear train. So output shaft of gearbox, that is main shaft of gearbox, or output of gearbox is given to sun gear. So sun gear is connected to planet gear. So to planet gear, planet gear. So again planet gear is connected to a ring gear. Student, this is ring gear, and this ring gear, student, ring gear is connected to you can say that to driven shaft. This ring gear is connected to driven shaft of a overdrive, and this driven shaft of overdrive is connected to propeller shaft. Let PS is the propeller shaft. So this driven shaft is connected to propeller shaft via universal joint. Now function of overdrive. So it will runs propeller shaft faster than engine shaft, or it will runs main shaft of gearbox, or it will exceed the speed of main shaft of gearbox, so that propeller shaft is running faster than engine shaft or main shaft of gearbox. Or you can say that ultimately crankshaft speed is less than that of the propeller shaft, or that is to a driving wheels, or in short you can say that to a driving wheels more speed is supplied than that of the engine crankshaft speed. So it will save the fuel consumption. Also it will improve the engine life. So student, this overdrive generally connected to a top gear of a gearbox. So suppose 4-speed reduction gearbox, so total speed reduction 4. So generally it is better to employ overdrive to 4th gear, that is top gear. Sometimes in certain vehicles it is installed to top gear as well as low speed reduction gear or low gear and top gear, but it has a more advantage if it is installed across top gear. So in advanced cars only this overdrive is installed, so some burden of engine will be taken by this overdrive. So if overdrive is installed, the main advantage that actually the working of engine 70% to that of the full pledge, so 30% saving of running time of engine, or you can say that 30% save in the fuel consumption. So overdrive is employed generally in advanced car. Now student, see, this ring gear is connected to driven shaft. Now when vehicle, suppose when vehicle is at top gear, then gearbox shaft, that is motion of gearbox shaft is given to sun gear to planet gear. Okay, so planet gear to ring gear. So see, during this, so sun gear and planet gear along with ring gear, that is we are choosing the dimension of sun, planet and ring gear in such a way that higher speed at output we are getting, that is higher speed at output we are getting, that is we are choosing the sun gear and planet gear in a such a way that so ring gear executes more speed than that of the sun gear, that is ring gear executes more speed than that of the planet gear. So by choosing suitable sun, planet and ring gear assembly, that is by selecting proper epicyclic gear train, so speed at output will be more. So this output shaft is connected to propeller shaft, so you can say that speed of gearbox shaft is less than that of the propeller shaft, that is propeller shaft has a more speed, so around 30 to 40% increase in speed that of the engine shaft, so to that of the main shaft of gearbox we are getting. So student, one more component, this is overrunning clutch. Overrunning clutch, this is planet carrier, so it will hold the planet gear, it supports the planet gear. So overrunning clutch, so why overrunning clutch, or this overrunning clutch also called as free wheel unit. Another name of overrunning clutch is free wheel unit. Free wheel unit, so it allows unidirectional movement, or overrunning clutch is a one-way clutch, so it will be helpful on the gradient. So I will not discuss in detail that is overrunning clutch, so just go through it. So planet gear, sun gear, the sun gear, planet gear, ring gear, this is the cover plate, or ring gear is connected to driven shaft, then gearbox shaft is connected to sun gear. So simple construction, student. So function of overdrive, it will runs propeller shaft faster than that of the engine shaft. So student, next component in the power transmission system will be the propeller shaft. So we will discuss the construction and working along with usefulness of propeller shaft. So propeller shaft is connected in between gearbox and differential, or it is connected in between overdrive and differential if overdrive is used. If overdrive is not used, it is connected in between gearbox and differential. So in two-wheeler, no need of differential. So propeller shaft, as per two-wheeler is concerned, it is connected in between gearbox and rear axle. You can say that rear axle is the driving axle in maximum vehicle, or as per two-wheeler is concerned, rear wheel is the driving wheel. So student, so generalized statement I will do, that is propeller shaft, this is the propeller shaft. So it is connected in between, that this is the output from transmission or gearbox, so that is main shaft of gearbox. GBS is the gearbox shaft, it is main shaft of gearbox, is connected to propeller shaft via universal joint. So UJ is the universal joint. After discussion of propeller shaft, different types of universal joint and function of universal joint we will discuss, student. Again, this is the universal joint. So this is the differential. So student, propeller shaft, either one in number or more than one in number. So propeller shaft will be more in number, that is more than one in number. When? See student, when gearbox and differential, it is when gearbox and differential are not closer to each other, or distance between gearbox and differential is more. As per heavy duty vehicles are concerned, or cargo vehicles, distance between transmission and rear axle is more. So instead of using single propeller shaft, it is better to adopt more than one propeller shaft. See student, if only single propeller shaft is used, okay, suppose this is the transmission, this is the differential. So propeller shaft is the rotating shaft. It will transmit the motion and power from transmission unit to driving axle, okay, via differential. So if length is more, so generally cross section area of propeller shaft is circular. So if length is more, it is a rotating shaft. So buckling of propeller shaft may take place, that is L by D ratio, length to diameter ratio will be more than 12 or more than 20, you can say that. So if length is more, it is a case of long column, so more chances of failure due to buckling stresses. So along with the buckling, the another severe stress is the torsional stress, okay. So student, that's why to avoid buckling, instead of single propeller shaft, so I will use that this is the shaft number 1. I can use 1, 2 and 3 shaft, and so on. One of the category I have discussed, suppose cargo vehicles, so 3 shaft I will use. So I will connect this 3 propeller shaft via again universal joint. First universal joint, second universal joint, third universal joint, fourth universal joint. Universal joint is nothing but one type of a coupling, that is the flexible coupling. Student, I think you might have aware about the different type of coupling. So to connect two shaft, generally coupling is more useful. So special type of coupling, that is universal joint, we are using, since universal joint will be useful to connect to rotating shaft. Shaft are not stationary, okay, rotating shaft that are responsible for motion and power transmission. So now next question, just think about it student. Propeller shaft, it is solid propeller shaft or hollow propeller shaft, which one is the better? What do you think student? Solid or hollow? Solid or hollow? think as per design aspects, either solid propeller shaft or hollow propeller shaft. Student, it depends on the drive mechanism, which drive mechanism is used in a propeller shaft. Suppose student, propeller shaft with torque tube drive is used, then solid propeller shaft is used. If propeller shaft with Hotchkiss drive, that is two types of drive. First one is the torque tube. Torque tube. Student, second one is the Hotchkiss drive. So generally in a torque tube, name is tube, okay? So solid tube or hollow tube. Today I will not discuss, okay? Either solid tube or torque tube, but both solid and hollow are used, okay? So just go through it. So which one is the better option? Either solid or hollow. So torque tube drive, and second one is the Hotchkiss drive. The student, the second category, Hotchkiss drive, popularly used. So in Hotchkiss drive, the slip joint, student, this is a slip joint. In Hotchkiss drive, slip joint will be present. That is, the slip joint is a special type of sliding joint. So if in a heavy duty vehicles, the complete load will not be absorbed by a suspension system. Partial load will be transmitted to chassis or other automobile components. So some partial load which is not taken by suspension may be acting on gearbox from gear, or some load may be acting on propeller shaft. So slip joint has a one flexibility. If load is acting on slip joint, what will happen? So length of propeller shaft, that is length of propeller shaft will be increased. So student, length of propeller shaft will be increased. So increase in length will be enhance the shock absorbing capacity, that is more shocks will be absorbed by propeller shaft. So there will be lesser deformation of propeller shaft if either increment or decrement in the length if permissible. So slip joint, with the help of slip joint, length of propeller shaft can be altered. Simply we can say that length of propeller shaft can be altered with the help of slip joint. So propeller shaft with Hotchkiss drive, in Hotchkiss drive slip joint will be provided. In torque tube drive there will not be a slip joint. So student, understand the construction details of propeller shaft. So it is the important component in the transmission system. So we will discuss Hotchkiss drive and torque tube drive. So Hotchkiss drive and torque tube drive. So torque tube drive first, then Hotchkiss drive. Student, arrangement of propeller shaft. Let this is gearbox or transmission. So this is the propeller shaft. Let PS notation I will give the propeller shaft. Universal joint or coupling. So propeller shaft is connected to the differential. This is the differential. This is differential. Let this is the driving axle. So wheel and tire. This axle, driving axle, generally made up of two half shaft. So these two half shaft will be connected to the wheel assembly. So one end of propeller shaft in torque tube drive is connected to gearbox via spherical coupling. So and another end of propeller shaft is connected to differential. So supporting of propeller shaft is done on axle housing. So student, this is axle. So propeller shaft mounting is done on axle housing. So it is done on axle casing, you can say that. Now in Hotchkiss drive, let this is gearbox. Propeller shaft. Same universal joint. So again, here is the universal joint. So there will be a slip joint. Student, this is the slip joint. So this mounting, one end is mounted on gearbox. Okay, one end has a connection to gearbox housing. So one end of propeller shaft, so mounting is done on gearbox housing. So another end, that is the end which is connected to a differential, that end is connected to a suspension system. So mounting bracket are provided on suspension system. So here are the mounting bracket and it will provide to suspension system. Suppose lip spring is used, then student, this is the lip spring. So another end of propeller shaft is connected to lip spring. Suppose student, instead of lip spring, if in a suspension system coil spring are used, in independent suspension system coil spring are used. So propeller shaft is connected to a coil spring. Okay student, so it will be connected to a coil spring. This is supposed coil spring. So more flexibility we are getting in a Hotchkiss drive. So student, Hotchkiss drive, it is popularly used. So other discussion, let's go through the any standard reference book of automobile engine, either Kripal Singh, Tipse, Rajput, Domkundwar. Okay, So Indian author books. So more elaboration of propeller shaft you will get. So next component, that is various types of universal joint, we will discuss student. So next component in power transmission system is universal joint. So this universal joint connects propeller shaft and other transmitting component. So it has a connection to propeller shaft and either to gearbox shaft or either to differential shaft, or it has a connection between two propeller shaft if more than one propeller shaft are used. So student, function of universal joint. So it gives flexibility to a propeller shaft, that is for a transmitting shaft some angular flexibility will be provided because it is one type of flexible coupling. Universal joint is nothing but a one type of flexible coupling. Hook joint, I think you might have aware, it comes under universal joint. Hook joint is nothing but a universal joint. So student, so varied angle for the movement of propeller shaft. This is propeller shaft. So varied angle, okay, or some angular misalignment. Suppose this is the axis of propeller shaft, okay. So some varied inclination, okay, will be provided to the transmission shaft. So failure of shaft may be avoided, okay, by using flexible coupling in power transmission, okay. So some angular misalignment will be allowed to the propeller shaft. So see, if there is no flexibility to rotating shaft, then chances of failure, okay. So various types of universal joint. Student, universal joint classified into two categories. First, it is the variable velocity joint, VVJ, variable velocity joint. So if speed of rotating shaft is varying, then we can use variable velocity joint. So variable velocity joint, so three important types. First one is the spider type. So first joint is cross or spider type. C for cross, so it is called as cross type of variable velocity joint or spider type of variable velocity joint, or it is also called as hook joint. So cross and spider type of joint also called as hook joint. So second, ring. So ring type of joint or ring type of variable velocity joint. Third one is ball and trunnion type of variable velocity joint. So see, generally universal joint connect two shaft, okay. So three important components required. So one element, it is connected to the driving element. Suppose this element is connected to driving element. So that this is the driving shaft, this is the driven shaft. So driving and driven shaft, let universal joint is used. So driving shaft is connected to, suppose, driving member of universal joint. Then driven shaft is connected to driven member of universal joint. And third element, this element connects driving and driven member of universal joint. Same as that of the coupling, okay, different types of coupling. Student, you already studied. So simple case of universal joint I have taken. This case we will discuss later. So student, constant velocity joint. This constant velocity joint has three categories. First one is the RZ, that is zipper type of constant velocity joint. Then second category of constant velocity joint is the Bendix Bendix. And third is the tractor type of constant velocity joint. Classification will not be asked, specific universal joint will not be asked in final exam, but for your understanding, various type of variable velocity joint and constant velocity joint I have discussed. So student, construction of generalized universal joint, that is hook joint, we will discuss. So student, so this is the driving shaft, driven shaft. Driving shaft, driven shaft is connected with the help of universal joint. This is the driving yoke. Driving yoke. Similarly student, this is driven yoke. Okay, driven yoke. Driven yoke. So this driving yoke and driven yoke, this is the driving yoke. So student, this one is the driven yoke, this is driving yoke. Okay, this driving and driven yoke are connected with the help of spider. Spider. You can do the analogy of this universal joint with, suppose, knuckle joint or coupling. For example, knuckle joint. So one shaft is connected to, one end is connected to a fork, another end is connected to eye. This fork and eye is connected with the help of pin. In quarter, same. Socket end connected to shaft number 1. Spigot is connected to shaft number 2, and this socket and spigot are connected with the help of quarter. So quarter joins socket and spigot, and two shafts are connected to socket and spigot. Same. To driving yoke, driving shaft is connected, driven yoke, driven shaft is connected. Driving and driven yoke are connected with the help of spider. So this driving member, driven member and joining member of universal joint, some changes. That's why constant velocity joint, variable velocity joint. So working principle of these all universal joints somewhat same. Okay. So depending on the type of vehicle, suitable universal joint is used. Generally, hook joint and Oldham coupling are popularly used universal joint in a vehicle. So student, so flexibility will be provided, okay, to the moment of propeller shaft. That is, to the moment of propeller shaft, we are getting flexibility with the help of universal joint. So see student, suppose one end of propeller shaft is connected to a transmission unit or gearbox via universal joint. Similarly, another end of propeller shaft is connected to differential or axle via universal joint. So in a power transmission system, universal joint plays vital role. So it will gives flexibility to the transmitting shaft or rotating shaft. Thank you, student.